January was a tough one, but thankfully I was able to close the month with a 3% profit, and I've been able to place my withdrawals across my prop firms and all of that. Anyways, so yeah, for next week we'll start with the fundamentals. On Monday we have two major news events on the dollar, and then on Tuesday we have major news events on the Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, and the New Zealand dollar. On Wednesday there is actually no major news events, as you can see, and on Thursday we have one major news event for the US dollar, which is the unemployment claims. Then we have one for the Australian dollar, and two major news events on Friday, which is the unemployment rate for the Canadian dollars. So these are the major news events we are going to be having next week. Now that we've seen what is happening fundamentally, let's go to the charts. Let's go to technicals, starting with DXY as usual. Happy new month, traders. I understand the fact that last month was a tough one for many people, but like I mentioned earlier, thankfully I was able to make about 3% for last month on my prop firm accounts and 9% on my swing accounts, right? So overall I have nothing to complain about. Hopefully we get more positive trades in this month of February. So starting with the DXY on the monthly time frame, obviously you can see that price is comfortably sitting on a solid monthly support level around here that has been tested multiple times, and around here, right? This could be a double bottom forming on the dollar index, but it's too early to say that until we create a new high, which should be higher than this region here. But one point we should consider is we are currently sitting on a solid support level, and this is a massive bullish engulfing candle, right? So for the month of February, I'll be expecting continuous push to the upside. Also considering the fact that last week the unemployment rate, the NFP, came out very bullish for the US dollar, and for the fact that technically price is sitting on a solid support level, and now we can see that technically we've closed with a bullish engulfing candle on that support level. So by default I'll be expecting a continuous push to the upside. Let's come to the weekly time frame. Of course, for the past couple of weeks price has been bullish. As you can see, we have more bullish candles than the bearish candles. Now to the daily time frame, thanks to NFP, see how we're able to break above this massive period of sideways movement, right? Price has obviously created a new high. My next target is around 104.294. Let me say between 104.294 and 104.409, right? So that's my initial target. But if we break above this resistance here and create a new higher high, which should be higher than here, that means if we break above here, then I would like to see a retest of that zone, and then my next target will be all the way up here around the 107 region. All right, let's come to the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, you can see this was the range. No significant move up or down, just bouncing off resistance and support. But obviously you can see we've broken out of the range to the upside. So next week I would like to see a sell to buy scenario. That means I would like to see a retest of this area before we push upward. All right, but overall I am bullish on the dollar index, and if the dollar index is bullish, that means EURUSD should be bearish, GBPUSD should be bearish, right? USD CHF should be bullish, and so on and so forth, because a bullish DXY means a strong US dollar, right? Now down to the EURUSD chart. Let's see how we closed for last month, since this is a new month. Obviously you can see we closed with a solid bearish engulfing candle, and this is happening at a strong area of resistance. Initially I was thinking price was going to continue pushing higher as we closed the month of December above the zone, but as you can see price pushed back downward, and we've closed with a solid bearish engulfing candle at a solid resistance area, right? So on this monthly time frame, my next target is 1.05666. That's my overall target, maybe in the next couple of months. Now let's go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, thanks to NFP, just like we saw on the dollar index, massive bearish engulfing candle to the downside. So on this daily time frame, my initial target is 1.07445. If we take that out, that means we are coming to 1.05666, which is our monthly target. Now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, there's no solid area to plot a retest level, right? But I'd like to see a buy to sell scenario. Buy to sell scenario. So basically what I'm saying is I'd like to see a bullish pullback before we continue bearish much later during the week. So let's see how that plays out. Maybe I'll keep us updated on the Telegram channel. The link to the Telegram channel is in the description of this video down below. Now let's go to GBPUSD, or sorry, AUDUSD. Let's check out how we closed for last month. So just like the Euro USD and the dollar index, you can see we've closed with a bearish engulfing candle, right? The dollar index closed with a bullish engulfing candle, signifying a strong US dollar. But on AUDUSD, solid bearish engulfing candle, which also in this currency pair signifies a strong dollar, right? So we should be looking at bearish possibilities. On this monthly time frame on AUDUSD, my next target is 0.63287. That's my initial target. Of course, if we take that out, then this area is around 0.61297 will be the next target. But let's focus on this initial target. Now let's go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, price is currently sitting on a support level. Yes, the idea is price is going to continue downward, but you don't want to overlook this current strong support level that has been tested multiple times looking left. All right, you don't want to ignore that fact. So if you want to continue selling, except if you're already in a sell from maybe the top here, then you could still hold, because maybe worst case scenario we'll see a bullish pullback before we eventually blast below this daily support level. But for now, if you are not in this trade already, in my own opinion, it's not wise to sell above the current support level. So it's better for price to take out this current support level before we start maybe probably adding to our positions or taking new positions. Now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, the same thing applies. Let's wait for price to take out this region, which is between 0.64873 and 0.65183. All right, so a quick recap from last week. Remember last week's analysis, price was trading around here, and I was like, I would wait for price to take out this trend line and take out this mini support level before I look for sells to the downside. And I don't trade AUDUSD anyways, I only trade Euro USD. But if I was trading AUDUSD, like I said in last week's video, this is what I'd like to see before taking a trade. And as you can see, price broke below the zone, went back for a retest before falling, just like I analyzed last week. So AUDUSD next week, I am bearish. Now let's look at GBPUSD. Let's start from the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame on GBPUSD, you can see this solid bearish push to the downside. However, if we go to the daily time frame, price is still in that nasty range. All right, we've been in this range since the 15th of December last year. I'd like to see price break out of this area or this area before I start selling to the downside or buying to the upside. But looking at what DXY is doing, of course, I'm actually looking at the bearish possibility. So I'd like to see price take out this current daily support that has been tested multiple times looking left. I would like to see price take it out. Then I can now switch to a lower time frame, so maybe the 4-hour, the 15 minutes or whatever, right? I need a daily candlestick to close below here, then go down to those lower time frames, look for pullbacks, then catch an entry so that I can have a small stop loss and a maximum reward to the downside. So if that happens, my next target is 1.2376. Let me take that again, 1.23276. But if price bounces off from here, let's say it takes out this resistance above, which I really don't see happening at the moment, then my next target will be around 1.31049. All right, I'm not going to be going to the lower time frames on this one. I'll just stay on this daily time frame. I just need a daily candlestick to close below here, below this current support or above this daily resistance. Now that is that on GBPUSD. But overall on GBPUSD, I am bearish. Now let's look at dollar index. I'm going to be focusing only on the daily time frame on dollar index. So market structure wise, price is clearly in a downtrend, and we broke below this support. We've gone back to retest that support, and we've closed Friday with a solid bearish engulfing candle. So my next target on JPY index is going to be 748.3. so that means most of the pairs paired against the JPY index is going to dominate. All right, so that is what that means. A bearish JPY index simply means a bearish or a weak Japanese yen. Now let's go to USDJPY. Now that we've seen what is happening on the Japanese index, right? But before we continue, if you've made it this far, I guess you are enjoying what you've been watching so far. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and also like this video. Also do well to share this video with fellow traders like yourself. Now let's continue with the analysis. So if you've been watching my previous video, you will know that when price broke out of this zone, I have been expecting a retest of that zone. It happened last week, pushed higher, but still came back again. Sorry, last 2 weeks rather. Then still came back again last week to retest that zone properly before we saw this massive bullish engulfing candle to the upside, right? And if you watched last week's video, I said my next target is 149.295. All right, 149.295. So my target remains the same going into this week, right? As you can see, last 2 weeks my prediction was that price was going to pull back into here. It happened, bounced off, but still pulled back into there, giving us a double bottom before blasting all the way to the upside. So if you're not already in this trade, how do you join this trade? Now this is going to be a tricky one. I'm going to come to the 1 hour time frame, and I'll look for this recent market structure level that was taken out, right? So I'll be expecting a pullback into this zone, which is around 147.861. So from there, if I see my entry strategy play out, I don't trade USDJPY anyways, but if I were to trade it, this is what I'll be looking for. So if price pulls back into here and I see my entry strategy play out, then I'm going to be buying until we come into 149.295. So for the early part of next week, I'll be expecting a bearish to bullish scenario, but for the best part of next week, I'm expecting USDJPY to be bullish. All right, so let's come to the last item on my list for the week, which is gold. Gold is still confused at the moment. All right, gold is confused at the moment, but something interesting is happening on the monthly time frame. Remember, I have been hammering on the fact that price is trading at a strong resistance level, and if we break and close above that strong resistance level, right, which is around 2074 area, then I will be expecting a continuous bullish price action on gold. But that has not happened, right? As you can see, we actually closed last month with a bearish candle at a strong resistance region that has been tested multiple times. If you look left, right, all the way from, if you look all the way back to August 2020, then another one happened around March 2022, another retest of that zone happened around May 2023, and around November also 2023, but price blasted higher, failed to close above that 2074 area. As a matter of fact, we closed last month with a bearish candle. So guys, we may most likely be bearish on gold for the month of February. Let's check out the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, however, there is a solid rejection giving us a bullish engulfing candlestick around a strong support area. So you see the confusion right here, right? So I'll be staying away from gold for the time being, except if you're on a much lower time frames, probably taking short buys or sell or whatever. Then of course, by all means, you can trade. But if you're looking to hold this long term, then I'd like to see price. Let me go to the daily time frame to give a clearer picture. Okay, sorry, let's go back to the weekly time frame. So I'd like to see price break and close below the 2016 area before I can have a strong confirmation that price is going to fall to the downside. And why is that? Simply because if you look above the 2016, or let me say between the 2016 area and the 2074 area, price has been ranging on the weekly time frame, right? Blasted up, blasted down, blasted up, blasted down, and looks to be blasting up once again, right? So you see all this confusion. So for me to buy, I'd like to see a weekly candlestick close above the 2074 area, right? And for me to sell, I'd like to see price close below the 2016 area. Let me make this 2016 area visible on the daily time frame and on the 4-hour time frame. So let's go to the daily time frame. So as you can see, I'd like to see price close below here. However, looking at this daily time frame, we saw a bearish engulfing candlestick on Friday, right? A bearish engulfing candlestick close. So we may still keep pushing down into the 216 area. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. All right, so on the 4-hour time frame, price is just confused at the moment. So basically, I'm talking about this, since I've been talking about the 2016 area, well, I'll be looking at price coming back into this trend line, right? This trend line has been tested once, twice, 3 times. So with this solid NFP candle, this solid bearish move to the downside, I will expect that momentum to continue into this trend line. But this pullback that is happening around here, I expect this zone to be the termination point, all right? Especially around this area here, which is the 2038 area. So I'll be expecting, or let me move it higher a bit. So 2039 area. So I'll be expecting a bearish continuation from around here into this trend line or into the 2015 or 16 area. All right, so this is my short-term move for gold. But if we break below this trend line and below 2016, then I would like to see a proper break below, a retest, then before we sell to the 1980 round number area, which is around here. All right, so this is my view on gold for next week. So guys, that is the end. And if you want to learn how to execute trades, how to do your analysis, how to anticipate what's going to happen in the market and all of those good stuffs, well, we still have spots available at the Let's Trade Academy. The link is in the description of this video down below. The year is still quite early, so you can make that move, make that bold step to take your game to the next level. That is if you're still a struggling trader or a beginner trader trying to find consistency in this brutal market arena. All right, so the link once again is in the description of this video, and if you are not interested, it's totally fine to make sure you keep watching our videos, like our videos, share our videos, and make sure you're also subscribed to this channel. And I wish you a successful trading week, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.